Any other comments from council? At this time, we will go to the audience. If someone from the audience would like to come and comment on this agenda item, you can come to the podium, state your name and your residence.
My name is Sue Oldenburg. I live at 609 Nancy Drive. I think the bridge is a wonderful idea. However, the cost is astronomical. And Ms. Drake, I admire all you've done and all your committee do, but I beg to differ with you. The money from TxDOT is not a gift. It is still our tax dollar. We may be getting it back, but it's money we paid. It is not a gift. And I have yet to ever see a shovel-ready job. I know that we did a study back in 10 or 11 from, I think it was Sparks. I tried to find it, couldn't locate it to this morning. An engineering study on the bridges. Is none of that any good anymore? We spent, there again, $27,000, $30,000 on it from the 4B or Glen Economic. Is that study absolutely no use for that, or cannot part of that be used? I don't know. I'm not an engineer. I don't know. But it's $30,000 of our tax dollar that was used that I wonder. And I also wonder if any studies have been done on how much each individual that would use the Riverwalk, visitor, spends in our town at our local businesses. Do you have any answers? Thank you. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Sue. Someone else?
You want me to answer that?
I guess we have to come back to the podium.
I did include the KSA engineering report in my presentation, and it is available for all of you to look at. It's a very preliminary report, but I did glean the useful information from that report.
Someone else from the audience like to come and comment? Yes, ma'am. State your name and your address, please. Podium.
Jane Young, 205 Grace Street. I own property right at the end of Grace Street where the pedestrian bridge is probably going to connect with downtown. And as a property owner, I'm really looking forward to this project coming about. And as Dr. Jones was speaking about the vision that the council had a few years ago on the overall picture that you have for that area, I think that I'm hearing that you're committed to the bridge, but the hesitation is the money. And I'd have to say that 70% off sounds pretty doggone good. If you know that you can get that much money to build or do something, then the other part of it, I think it's just a matter of stepping out and going with the vision that you have for that area to begin with. And as a property owner, I would think that everybody on Grace Street and around the downtown area, property values are going to go up, and it is going to be part of what your overall vision is for the downtown area. And maybe it is up to you guys to promote it more, and thinking of ways in which that area could be used to actually bring in money.
Thank you, Mrs. Young. Someone else like to comment? I've got to get the audience first.
Just a little bit of levity.
Oh.
Yeah, Ms. Young, if we raise your property values, you're not going to complain, right?
Well, I mean, I like it when I sell, not maybe when I'm living there.
Anyone else have a comment? Coming back to the council, I would like to say I concur with Councilman Ramsey and Councilman Bryant, and I would like to take Mr. Jones' comment, risking some money. I think we need to risk some money. I would like to see something, some way to save the old Ed Young gas station. I'd like to see money go toward that to purchase that way, create a park. Myself, to me, that's a priority. I'd like to see us risk some money and spend some money on a playground at Oakdale Park. Spend some money on developing the 5 acres we bought next to Oakdale Park. Again, risking the money to take care of the retention pond for the Nancy Drive drainage issue. I was in a woman's home a few months ago when her home flooded again. And I would like to see everyone's street curbed and guttered in this city. Man, the Riverwalk's beautiful. I take pictures of it. I think the bridge would be great. But we do have to look at priorities and look at where things need to go on the list at this time, I believe. Then I would assume I would be looking for some sort of a motion on item number 2 at this time for the funding of the engineering of a Texas Department of Transportation pedestrian bridge.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion from Councilman Jones on the funding for the engineering of a Texas Department of Transportation pedestrian bridge.
May I wait for a second?
Sure. Yes, sir.
My question is, the preliminary design. If we focus this on one particular bridge, if we said, let's cut this cost, that would be where I would move to. A prefabricated bridge, I'm all for that. You know, that's the minimum cost bridge. That's us saying, you know what, it's compromised. Let's shoot for something that feasible, that works, that's going to develop a form of transportation across the river and maybe some economic development or an amenity for the citizens. But to move forward and to spend excess money where obviously it's probably not the direction we need to go. To me, that's wasting a little bit of extra money that we don't have to. So if we could cut costs, that would be the direction I'd like to go. Is that something that would be?
I'm not sure at this time with what's on the agenda if that's can be entertained in that. Brady,
I think y'all can discuss considering action you want to take on the item, so you want to direct this group to do a different engineering study, that's fine. It's part of the project.
Because we have no substantial amount of cost. We're still in a big question about that. To move forward and get a preliminary design for all three, we're going to pick one. And with the direction we're headed, why not just take the lowest one and just shoot for that? That's my way of thinking.
Councilman Jones.
I know one of the issues with that we had the last go around on the bridge was the displacement of water, and there had to be mitigation associated with that. And I know if you put piers into the Paluxy riverbed, you're going to displace a lot more. To take away land on either side of the river, you're going to find a lot of opposition, probably in the Commissioner's Court on some people. And that was one of the things we ran into, and some of those people are still there. So that would be one of the obstacles, to say you want to go on the least cost of that.
Councilman Ramsey.
Yes, going along with what Councilman Jones said, I was on the 4B during all that time too, and our biggest obstacle at that point was the Commissioner's Court doing the property for us to put it on, and that's another concern.
Okay, so I have a motion on the floor at this point for funding of the engineering of a Texas Department of Transportation pedestrian bridge as presented by Margaret Gray. Would that be correct?
Maybe that's for the $93,000.
For the $93,000. Do I have a motion for a second on that? Okay, I have no second, so that would die for lack of a second. item number 2.